Just wanted to welcome you to the final 2 weeks of the course. And it's at this time I really like to stress a couple of things to students as we're beginning to wrap up and you're getting close to the end of the first course. And I just wanted to share with you a bit, perhaps for those of you who didn't read the syllabus, or I actually did a research project on that one time, just a small sample, and found that about 60% of students don't read the syllabus. So anyway, I know that doesn't apply to any of you, but I just wanted to make sure that you fully understand the grading here, because heretofore we haven't talked that much about grading in particular. You've received your grades. It's been relatively easy, quite frankly, because discussion forums, for example, are worth about 40 points apiece, and so you typically get close to full credit on those. You typically get close to full credit on the short answers. The test, you typically come pretty close to full credit on those. But when you get to the paper, that's when the challenge begins. And so I just wanted to explain a few things here. In this class, there are 1,000 total points. And on the syllabus, you will see that you need to have 930 points. By the way, that's not 93%. It's 930 points. We don't do rounding here. So you need 930 total points to get an A. Graduate school is much more aggressive than traditional undergraduate. Many of you probably had undergraduate degrees where it was 90% or above, but it's not. It's 930 points. A B plus is 900 to 929. A B is 830 to 899, and so on and so on. So you need to be focused on those as you go forward. I put percentages in the gradebook just simply to give you an idea of how you're tracking. But at the end of the course, if you have 929 points, we don't round that up to an A. That is a B plus, okay? And then if you look at the grading breakouts down here, discussion forums make up 300 of those 1,000 points. And as I said earlier, those have been relatively easy just to get you started. The short answers make up 140 of those points. The test make up 70 of those points. The paper in lesson 1 through 6 makes up 240 of those points. And then your paper submission the final week is a full 25% of the available points, or 250. So if you look at this, the paper is worth 49% of your total grade. It makes up 490 of the points. And you can only lose 70 points, and after that you no longer have an A. So grades going in the final week can be deceptive, and the reason they can be deceptive is because the final paper is worth such a high percentage of the grade, or 25% of the grade. And so students can be tooling along and they look at their percentage and they'll go, well, I'm at a 95% or I'm at a 96% and I'm in good shape. And then they get, and then they don't really provide the type of depth and research on their paper, which if I had to give you a sneak peek under the hood, that's what this is all about. This is all about the paper, okay? All the other things are helping you write that paper, helping you get focused on research. And so if you're coming into the final couple of weeks and you see your grade at 95, some people just take their foot off the gas and think they can cruise in with a subpar paper. And then when they get their final grade, they'll go, oh my gosh, how did I end up getting a B on this? I was in such a good shape going into the final week. Well, the key indicator for me is how can you tell how your final grade is going to be progressing? And you need to look at your paper grades. So if you look at all the other stuff and use that as an indicator, that might give you some directional, but look at your paper. And for example, if you're getting 85% if you will, on your paper grade each week, then chances are, if you don't improve the paper, that's what you're going to get on the final paper. And so if you look at that and you get an 85% on the final paper, which is worth 250 points, then you only receive 212 and a half points on your final paper, which means that you've lost almost 38 points just with your final paper, and you can only afford to lose 70 over the entire course to get an A. And so weeks 6 and 7 here are meant for you to really dig deep, to make sure that you have the right level of depth in your paper, to make sure that you have the research component, to make sure that you have the sources from the CSU online library, because I don't want you to get to week 6 and 7 with a subpar or a B level paper and then have an unmet expectation that you were doing just fine in the course. So at the end of the day, this is all about the paper, this is all about research, and I just wanted to provide this for you as a key and also as an encouragement to make sure that if you've been seeing me talk about depth on your paper, if you've seen me have been talked about research sources, the CSU online library, then you better start digging in here the last 2 weeks and adding that level of depth, or you might just be surprised at the end on the final grade. So hopefully this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care.